Tamil Nadu's number one brand in mobile accessories, Happy Pola. Enjoy your favorite movies and shows with our new level of sounds.
For India, the New York leg of men's T20 World Cup 2024 is done. 3 matches India played at the Nassau County Ground in New York, and 3 wins have come out of it. Now the campaign moves to Florida, and where they're supposed to play Canada in their final group stage match. Uh, we are here to discuss that particular fixture against Canada and also the bigger picture about how things are moving into the Super 8s level. And before that, there's something happening in Florida we need to discuss before we start about match, and that's weather gods. It's been raining. So Gomesh here with me, Kalyani Mangale, in this episode of Fours and Sixes. The rain.
Yeah, I think the supposed to is the key word there.
Yeah.
It's not just India. The Nepal-Sri Lanka match has already been washed out, and USA and Ireland are playing on Friday, and then India matches on Saturday, and then there's a Pakistan match on Sunday. It's been raining all week. There's been flood warnings. A lot of streets have been flooded. It's going very, very bad from the cricketing point of view, and it seems likely that the entire Florida leg could be washed out, which would mean a lot of things for Pakistan, who will get eliminated. For Ireland, 2 of their games getting washed out will hit them very, very bad.
Yeah.
Which will also mean USA will make it to the Super 8 for their debut T20 World Cup at home also. But again, from an Indian point of view, they've had 3 wins. They'll take the 1 point and they'll go into the Super 8 as the topper of their group. So in that sense, India has not much to lose. They would be a lot more relaxed. What also makes it complicated is that it's very, very unlikely to make any last minute shifting or last minute changes, because it's not just the teams and players, the broadcasting crew, the equipments and schedules, rotation of pitches. A lot of variables comes into play in this sport, and weather is particularly one of them, which is not helping Florida. So at this point in time, the ICC would be hoping that rain gods will be staying away for as much as they can to get squeeze in at least a 5 over contest if possible.
And leading up to the Lauderhill, that is in Florida, part of this tournament, India has played 3 matches so far in New York, and it has not been smooth sailing for them, even though they have won 3 matches. Other than the first match, the opener they played against Ireland, the 2 follow-up matches, the one against Pakistan where they defended the low total, all credit must go to the bowlers, the way they handled it. And the final match of the New York leg, that was against the home team of USA, where they chased down a low total, but then again it came after losing few early wickets with the likes of Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma getting out early in the power play. So the New York leg, how are we looking at the New York leg, and what are the learnings to say for specifically for India from that leg, and moving forward, do you see, given it's going to be in West Indies, any changes in the playing 11?
Changes in the playing 11, yes. As for learnings, I don't know how much we can read into it because of the conditions that were in play, and they adapted to it to ensure enough that the result is not affected. They had their challenges, but they stuck to their plans and they got across the line every single time. And the one thing to take note is that India never shied away from the intent that was the talk in the lead up to the World Cup to be proactive up front. I don't remember a time where we saw Virat Kohli go as proactive as he has been in the 3 matches,
Yeah.
despite not having anything to show, but he has at least attempted what he has done in the IPL, and generally what he does is, like, when he does and it fails, he goes back to his conventional methods, adapts to the condition and does the anchor role, plays so 35 ball 50, an innings like that would have done a lot of good probably against USA. But he's not done that, which also means they have a plan in place. They have an extended batting lineup. They are using Akshar Patel as a floater. The two key talking points have been about Shivam Dube, his place in the 11, as well as someone like Ravindra Jadeja's place in the 11, including as a bowler because he hasn't bowled as much. But these are the two players are likely to be key for India in the West Indies leg of the tournament moving forward, because the conditions are in the same. The spinners will have a bigger role to play, which means Shivam Dube will have a bigger role to play, and so will Ravindra Jadeja with the ball. All he needs is a little bit of help from the surface, and he'll be in the game, not giving anything to the opponents, as we have seen with Chennai Super Kings in Chennai in the IPL, wherever the assistance he's gotten. So that's the only change that you can see. I don't see them dropping Shivam Dube anytime soon, but Kuldeep Yadav is expected to come in, probably in place of Siraj or Ashdeep, depending on what they want to go with. But otherwise, the concerns is just that they would need Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli firing come the big games, come the big opponents.
True.
As much as other players set the tone, other players take the revival. Like Rishabh Pant on his comeback has been exceptional with the bat.
True.
He's stuck to the same intent that he has had before his comeback as well. Even better shape he is in. But they would want Rohit and Virat to set the tone, because group games are fine, Super 8 games are fine, but come the knockouts, come the big games, it will be the top two who will be setting the tone, and the two experienced players who's come back to this particular format itself has been a bit of a debate. And so India will need Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli to, if not, even it's not just about scoring a 200 strike rate 50, it's about getting that 10 ball 20s and 15 ball 30s up front, setting a 60 for 0 power play or 55 for 1 power play. And that's what India need from the openers, and that's what they'll be hoping for moving forward.
Absolutely, and looking at this tournament, we have to, especially looking at India's performance, we have to talk about the pitch. It has gone up and down from all the pitches that were used in New York, and nobody has actually ever played at that ground. And actually 1 week from now, we won't even know there was a cricket ground at that place. It's in the middle of the park ground. But yes, as you said, we don't want to go into deep about how much learnings came from that ground, because ultimately the aim of the group stage was to make it to the Super 8s, and India are there. They'll go to West Indies. The conditions in West Indies, where they have previously played on multiple occasions in this format, so it won't be that alien conditions and situation for them, and it will be moving forward. It will be, like he said, like the Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli opening duo, they have to come good, not just because of their experience, because these are the big names, and big names do what they do, and when it's required, and let's hope against the tougher opposition. So let's hope that they get it sorted. But let's talk about the bigger picture about the Super 8s. Like as we said, that if it continues to rain in Florida, it might be the case that USA playing their World Cup on the home ground might make it to the Super 8s, and it'll be interesting to see them. But who the other teams we are looking at from the other groups that could potentially go to the Super 8s and be challenging for India when the World Cup moves to the West Indies?
So from where we are right now, India are A1 in Group A. So they will be likely playing against Australia from Group B, Afghanistan from the other group, and then Bangladesh and Netherlands from the fourth group. So either of Bangladesh, Netherlands will come in. They are having it will all come down to who wins in the match. That's supposed to be played on Thursday. How that result goes will have a role in see who is advancing. But then again, for India, it's all in all likelihood they will be playing against Afghanistan in their opening game of the Super 8s, and that it will be a bigger challenge for them considering the quality of the Afghanistan bowling lineup, especially their spin attack and the kind of impact Farooqi has made with his left arm pace. Up front, left arm pace has troubled India throughout this World Cup as well. but they have managed
And
to.
previous occasions.
Of course, but they've managed to get across the line. But here, one advantage India has is that all their matches are in day and not necessarily in nights, which means the movement under the lights is not as same as what it will be during the day, and there will be little impact on the pitch throughout the course of play. So that goes in favor of India. But again, they'll have to start from scratch come Super 8s, and because they'll be regrouping, they'll be going in with a different combination, and they'll have to put the best possible foot from there on.
Yep. And this whole World Cup, it is specifically talking from the USA point of view, how good it is, and a little bit because there's so much of Indian representation also there. The player who were born in India, moved to USA, some of the Indian origin, and so many cases. So, like you said, that USA, it will be historic for USA to get it there, but as a host, making it where the country is not that aware of the game's existence, and for USA to make such inroads going this deep into the tournament, and it will be great for new audience, which was actually the aim of the World Cup, is to make this game popular amongst one of the biggest markets, sports markets in the world. So how do you look at USA making it to the Super 8s, given all the weather conditions? If USA make it there, how good it will be for them?
I think it's incredible, not just for the host nation, but also for the global body as well. Because anytime a host or a team does well, in a World Cup, it keeps the interest longer for the local audience to come and watch the sport.
Yeah.
And even more so when the sport is alien to them,
Yeah.
as is the case in USA. And not just this World Cup, in the larger scheme of things, I think this is probably a beginning of a journey towards 2028, which again, the Olympics happening in USA, Los Angeles, where because they are hosts, they have already qualified for that, and the other teams will probably be qualifying based on rankings. I'm not entirely sure how it's going to work out at this point in time.
Yeah.
But this will probably be the stepping stone they needed to build the infrastructure, to build the interest for the game, to have some fresh faces in over the course of 4 years of time. It's a long period of time to build a team for that particular event.
Sure.
So they can take all the win they have had so far, but they will be obviously hoping for more. The challenge will be tougher. They will be up against probably West Indies, South Africa, and one other team, which is likely to be Scotland at this point in time. So while they can take a lot of heart from the success they've had, they will be pushing the boundaries. But what will be interesting to see is how they adapt to the conditions in West Indies.
Yeah.
Or the conditions in Dallas and New York has been worked out well for them. If it's flatter conditions, they'll probably need a lot more from their batters against quality bowling attacks, and that's where the challenge comes in the Super 8s. But either way, for me, this is a stepping stone for the sport in US, and we'll have to. I just hope that they take it forward in a way that come 2028, they are a formidable team.
Absolutely. So it's burning up the T20 World Cup. They're going into the Super 8s. The drama is high on who makes it to and ultimately the aim is to win the T20 World Cup, and you will get all the details from our side, and we'll continue to be on the videos in the 4s and 6s. So please do tune in and check our stories. Thank you so much again from Gomesh and Kalyani, and keep watching the New Indian Express.